Hey everybody, welcome to the Work with What You Got podcast. My name is Devin, aka Dina Chaitanya. This is episode number 9 of the podcast. We are slowly getting there. Someone told me once that if your podcast makes it over 10 episodes, that's when it's gonna go the long mile or going for the long run, I think, something like that. Anyway, so this is number 9. We're one away from that number 10. And yeah, so on today's episode, I have a lovely friend of mine named Aziza. She has a really epic TikTok account. I don't know, again, I don't know if your Instagram is as big as your TikTok or anything like that, or if you're on other apps, but she is very big on TikTok. And yeah, she can introduce herself and just tell us a little bit about like what you do on your account and what it's about.
Well, that's a lovely introduction. Yeah, I am mostly on TikTok, mostly active, but y'all can follow me on Instagram. I
I'll
like
put all
look
the I'll
a
put
lot
all the
less,
links in the description of the
yeah,
YouTube video so you
look
can
a
click
lot
there.
less ratchet on Instagram than what I do on TikTok because like on TikTok I'd be looking weird. I'd be like you see me just waking up,
Sure.
like immediately filming, not caring, but then on Instagram I'm like a model, so
On Instagram, you're more. So Instagram's you're more like the well done side of Aziza. The
yeah, but
TikTok's
then
more
like
like
TikTok
the
is just
the
where
behind the
ratchet.
scenes. Okay, so yeah, tell us what do you do on TikTok? What's your thing?
So I make videos about my relationship, which happens to be with a 30-year-old, 31-year-old guy, 32 now.
32 now. Oh, so he recently turned 32.
Yeah, he recently
Oh,
turned 32. And yeah, it's like basically about me being delusional. It's
yes.
like it's like the whole thing, like it's just me being delusional about this relationship, about this man who does not want me.
I really, the reason why I like what you're doing is because when I listen to your videos, I can hear the delusion coming through, but it's like so sweet, you know? It's like someone who really is like utterly in love with the person that they are with. And even if it makes them delusional, it's like it doesn't matter because I really love this person. So that's why I really connect to what you do, and that's why I like it. Yeah.
Yes, because like I cannot fake how much I love this man.
You don't,
I don't know
you
if you
don't.
know. I don't know if you know because I've never like said in like a video before,
Yeah.
but like that whole storyline about us being together,
Mm.
like, and he's like like not being together, and like I want him, but he doesn't want me, and he's 32 years old. That's all like a lie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I gathered as much, yes.
Like a lot of people don't know that I'm lying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of people like they're like, you need therapy, you need help, but like really, it's fake, guys. I'm telling you now. I think a lot of like a lot of people assume it's real because like that is like the only thing that's fake is the situation. The amount of love that I have for him, that is real. That
Hmm.
is real. If I say like I'm ready to go to Home Affairs to sign the marriage papers, like I mean that.
Hmm. But I think to me, it's like the creativity behind it, you know? Like you found a little like niche for yourself and you're just like blowing that up, and it's the creativity behind it. Like you put a lot of effort into being creative. We're thinking about the stories and, so on and so forth. I mean, it must take a lot of like mental work to think and be like, what am I going to talk about my 32-year-old boyfriend today? How delusional can I be?
Actually, though, can I tell you a bit about the origin of that?
Yeah,
Because
please. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm really keen to hear.
I want people to get lost who don't know me.
Sure.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah, yeah.
one day I made like this makeup video because I was making makeup videos and like my content was like anime based. So I was like just doing my makeup
Was
one
that was
day.
that before I met you or
It was when you met me.
when I met you?
Like
Oh,
when you
okay.
met me, I was making like anime content. Like I was cosplaying. I was doing the most, but like I only had like 8,000 followers at the time.
That's still a
So
lot.
yeah, and
Yeah,
like I
it's
was
still a lot.
getting like 200 views per video.
Yeah, yeah.
so back to the story. I was literally like just making a makeup tutorial, makeup video, and then I was like doing the voiceover, and then I was like, you know what? Like halfway through the voiceover, I was like, you know what? This is actually so boring. Why don't I make up a story? Why don't I make up a story and like not care?
How long did it take you to get to that point where you're like, this is actually so boring?
I was like, okay, and then I'm blending in my foundation, and I'm doing, and then I'm putting on my, and then I was like, you know, this is
It's
actually
so
so
boring.
boring. Like, I wouldn't even watch my own content.
Yeah.
Like, if I saw this on my For You page, I would just scroll because, like, you're like every other girl. You are like every other girl. So I was like, you know what? Only 200 people are going to view this, and you blocked everyone from your university.
Mm,
So why don't you just yeah, I blocked everyone from university.
okay.
So I was like, so why don't you just make up lies and only like 200 people are going to see it? And it's going to be 200 people that you don't care about. And then, yeah, and then I made up this whole thing like I'm getting ready to see my man and he's 32. No, it's getting ready for a first date actually. Yeah, it was getting ready for a first date. And yeah, and like he's 32. I've never met him before. He's like I only DM'd him on Snapchat, so like that stuff. And then like I was like I posted it, didn't care about it. I made lunch. I literally sat and I ate, and then I looked at my phone again, and the video was at like 500,000 views. And to me at the time it was like wow, it was like what, this is influencer level. I'm not that girl. I just
Yeah,
made it for fun.
sure.
And like and I was like, oh no, everyone's gonna know that I'm lying. Everyone's gonna think that I'm crazy. People who don't know me are gonna think that I'm extremely crazy. People are asking me if they should phone the police. Yeah, and then the next day, it was actually my 21st birthday. Like my birthday party. My actual birthday was gonna be later in the week, but my 21st birthday party, it reached 1 million views. So imagine going from like 200 views per video to like a
A
million.
million.
That
Yeah, sure. But so the
that
question,
was
the
like
question is, did the
mhm.
videos after that like do the same thing, or did they stick on like very low views as well? Because I went through a phase as well where I hit a spike on Instagram, and one of my videos also blew up, over 1 million views, like something like 80,000 likes and like 40,000 comments and blah blah blah. But then a few videos did that afterwards, but then it hit like this plateau, boom, and it hasn't changed since then. So did your other videos do the same, is what the question, yeah.
Oh yeah, so what happened was I posted a video then like after my 21st,
Mm.
and that also got like a million like quick. And then like all my other videos like started blowing up as well. And then I was like, I can't go back to making that anime content anymore. This is what the people want. People want me to be delusional.
Hello, yeah.
And yeah, I had a lot of I had a lot of like things in me. I had a lot of stories in me. So like people like the more I made like videos of me being delusional, the more people were watching, the more followers I got. Like I'm like, to me that's like crazy numbers, because I used to get like maybe like 10 a day, 10 new
Mm.
followers a day, but then there'd also be people who unfollowed me.
Mm.
So it would just be like that plateau. And then but now it just gained like crazy overnight, like maybe 20, like I think I got like maybe I would say from I went from 8,000 followers to 17,000. So it basically like doubled.
And what are you on now? You're on like 50,000 something?
Like I think about 56,000 now,
56,000. Okay.
which
Okay.
I'm still like, I'm so grateful. Like I'm like that is crazy to me. Like I'm
But
not like, to me, I don't think I'm famous. Like don't get me wrong, I don't think I'm famous,
sure, sure.
but that like to me it's so crazy.
It's like sometimes you
Because
have to like check. You're like, is that really like, is that me? Is that my account? Like, am I doing that?
I never wanted this. Like
Yeah.
in high school, like I never wanted to be famous. I'm gonna just I'm like I'm not famous, but I'm saying I
TikTok
never
famous.
wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah. Sure,
famous
sure, sure.
because like that's just not who I was. Like I would always get like so nervous to speak in front of like the class. I never wanted to be like confronted about anything. I never wanted to speak. Even I had like one friend. Yeah, like that was just not me. And then this happened, and now like it's very different.
So I can imagine, and I can imagine that yeah, as I said, like it's unexpected, right? You made a video one day and you're like, I'm gonna try something different, and boom, after so long of making the same content, and then realizing like I wouldn't even watch the content I make. I think that's a big turning point, you
Yeah.
know. It's just like, because that's what they say. I mean, that's all the feedback that I've always been given is that make content that you would watch, and then you play around with that. And
Definitely.
then because if you would watch it, other people would watch it too, because you know what you will scroll onto and be like, I'll watch that, I'll watch that. And if you will do that, then obviously other people will do that too. So that's really cool. And see, seen as your account is about like the delusional, I would say like delusional side of yourself, but this delusional character you've made, and people know
Mhm.
that, then let's talk a little bit about who you really are. So tell us, the people who are watching, who is the real Aiza, and what is your relationship like with your real actual boyfriend?
Okay, so I am, well, I am 21 years old. Let me just get that set. That part I did not lie about. That
Okay,
part I
you're
didn't
you're
lie
real
about.
about the
I feel like I was an introvert before this whole
Mm.
thing, but I've returned quick fast into an extrovert. I I graduated from in my degree in oral hygiene in 2022, so I'm like still a recent
Hey.
graduate. And yeah, I'm not that crazy in real life, guys. I promise. I promise I'm not that crazy in real life. And
We'll believe you
the
for now.
story, like the real story of how I met my mans was we actually both studied together. We both graduated together. And it's so funny because I always said like I'm never gonna date someone who does the same degree as me. That's so weird
Is he
because
is he the same age as you as well?
he's about 2 years older, so
2 years old.
he's
Okay.
23 right now.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool.
So yeah, we like I'd never wanted to be with him because he was like the same exact same class, same faculty, same everything. And I was like, that's embarrassing. That's so embarrassing to date someone in your class. That's embarrassing. Because we're not like in oral hygiene, yeah, it's not like a regular university class because we're only like I'd say 30 people.
Mm.
So everyone will know that you're dating. And I never wanted that. And also, secret, yeah, this is a secret that I'm letting you know. Like I
You
was
tell me.
dating someone else. I was dating someone else at the time. Like just dating, we were not together. So don't worry,
Oh, I
no
see.
cheating was
Oh,
done.
I see.
No
I see.
cheating was done in the making of
Oh,
our
I see.
relationship. But
Sure.
I was like just going on dates with someone else. And then but then he was like, okay, I'm gonna take you on a date. And like it was just a whole different experience. It was like nothing like I've ever experienced in dating before. Like it was he's like
He
really
he
romantic.
he is, you could say, the one, right?
Yeah, he's the one.
Okay. Okay.
Like I've I've only ever dated like introverts like me.
Mm.
So like they never did any like big grand gestures before. And like I didn't know I liked them until he
You did
started doing
it.
them. Like
Sure.
he would come to class with like a bunch of roses and just give them to me in front of everyone. And I'd be like, everyone would hate us. They'd be like, you make us feel single.
Okay. That's great. That's really cool. So in other words, you have a really good relationship with him, and it's not a delusional relationship. It's actually like Pretty normal.
It's actually proper. It's
It's proper.
proper, and we're only 2 years apart.
Okay. And how long have you been going out for?
In October this year, it will be 3 years.
3 years. Wow. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's for me, dating at a young age was, I mean, it's different for everybody, but for me, I guess dating at a young age, I never really thought that this would go to marriage, you know? So, I mean, you must have thought about it and stuff like that. I mean, you can touch on that if you want to. You don't have to speak about it.
Look, it was definitely 100%. Like, you might think that I'm crazy, but it was 100% love at first sight, because everyone was okay. Story of how origin, like proper origin story. Like, we came back from COVID. We were COVID first years, and second year we were coming back from COVID. I had no idea this man was in my class. Everyone was wearing scrubs because we were working in the hospital. We were cleaning teeth in the hospital, and like he just walked past me, and like I saw his curly hair. He was even still wearing like the mask, and all I saw was his eyes and
Sure.
his curly hair, and it was love at first sight. Definitely. Like I was like, and like I was like, you're crazy. You're literally dating someone else. You can't be like, because I'm loyal in my situationships. I was that girl. But I was like, you can't be feeling this way. Like, but he's perfect.
So how long did it take you? What was the moment that made you feel like there must have been a moment, like, in a relationship, you have like it's not really the big moments, it's those small moments where you look at the person, you're like, that's the person, like that's the person. So what was that
It
moment for
was
you?
just the moment I laid eyes on him, I
Oh,
pictured
okay.
myself. I was like, I was walking down the aisle in my head, like holding the bouquet. And
You
like
were there
I
already.
saw like my bridesmaids, I saw the theme, I
Sure.
saw him standing there waiting for me. I saw us getting married. I saw our honeymoon flash before my eyes. I saw our me giving birth, our first child, family trips we were gonna take, like all that flash like in my head. And like, okay, then I was probably being so delusional, but like he told me.
I was just about to say, so there is like a touch of like delusion in you, even though you claim it to be like just your TikTok
I
person.
don't think so, because you know what he told me? He told me he felt the same way.
Ah, that's cool.
He told me that. He told me.
Okay,
So I wasn't that delusional.
sure. You were
Okay, maybe
delusional
not
together.
the walking down the aisle part, but like he said it was love at first sight too.
Sure, sure. That's good. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. So that's really cool. So when I met you, the way that I met you and to where you are now, like I would never have expected like the person I was meeting in that shopping mall. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to have this podcast, was because I found that
I was really
how we
shy,
met
wasn't
was
I?
cool. You were. And the question, so let me just get some background information to the people watching this, is that I was doing TikTok and YouTube videos in a mall. The mall is called Cavendish Mall here in Cape Town. And I was just going up to random people and asking them a question I had planned out for the day to get, like feedback or like opinions on. So I think the question that I asked you was, is flirting cheating? If I'm not
Yeah, I
mistaken.
remember it like it was yesterday. I was literally in Cavendish yesterday, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember. This
Flashbacks.
was the spot. I was like, this is the spot where I met you. And and it all came flashing back to me. And I was with my brother too. And I was with him
Yeah.
yesterday as well.
Oh, really? Oh,
So
wow. Okay, that's cool.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
And yeah, so I was going around the mall and I was asking people, hey, blah blah blah. And then I met Aziza and I was like, I'm gonna ask this question. And I forget your exact response, but you were very like, You were very like set in your answer. You're like, yes, it's definitely cheating. You shouldn't flirt with other people, and which I appreciated. It was very like
Yes,
honest and very true.
I was actually talking to Nathaniel. That is my man's name, Nathaniel. Okay, so
Nathaniel,
should I
hey,
refer to
well,
him?
okay,
Should I refer
cool.
to him as like my man, or should I refer to him as Nathaniel?
Sure. Yeah, and
Which one?
sorry?
Oh, which one should I refer to him as?
It's up to you. He's your boyfriend. Is he your manager? Does he manage your
I
account
think
and stuff?
I was actually like I was talking to him like the day your video came out on YouTube. I sent him the link and I was like, flirting is cheating. Don't you dare even think about it. And
Yeah.
like this is what I said on the spot as soon as like someone asked me about it. But then I saw him on Saturday and I was like, you know what? I was thinking about it and I was like, you know what? Flirting is cheating. But you know, if you're flirting to get something you want or something, if you're flirting to get something, I wouldn't be mad at you.
It
Like for
depends. It
example,
depends what it is. Yeah.
like you're going to the shop
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you want that like employee discount.
Mm,
It's okay to flirt. You're saving. It's not flirting. It's a bargain.
sure, sure.
You're never going to see them again.
So
You're never
you
going to see that girl again.
so it's like
So
the intention behind it that matters, right?
yeah, it's about the intention.
Okay. Okay. I still think like I mean maybe I'm just like uh like a stiffler for the truth, but I still think like there's always another way to do it. I mean, you don't have to flirt to get what you want in life. Like you can still be true to yourself and still get what you want, you know. I think there's a difference between flirting and having game. You know, you can still manage a situation and get what you want without having to flirt with someone else. But anyway, that's just my opinion. So coming back to us meeting. So I went up to Aziza. I asked her this question. She gave like a really cool, solid answer. Yes, flirting is cheating. And then yeah, that's how we met. And I didn't at that point. You were on like 8,000 followers on TikTok. I never
Yeah.
expected like Aziza to blow up. I mean, like at all. Like I just met you, and the cool thing is that it's not the first time this has happened where have gone up to someone and approached them, and then they've like blown up in some way or another. And I just find it so cool that if I never had gone up to you and said, "Hey, what's up? Do you want to do this or you want to be a part of this?" Or even just said, "Hey, who are you? Hey, my name's Devin," or however I introduced myself to you at that point. If I never
Mhm.
had done that, then we would never be here right now having a cool connection with each other, you know?
Yes, isn't that like crazy? Like the butterfly effect is real.
Yeah, okay. What do you mean by that? What do you mean?
Yeah, because like every action has a consequence,
Okay, yeah, sure.
and
Has it
like
ever
we wouldn't be talking now if that didn't happen. If I decided to stay home, even like we wouldn't have met if you didn't decide to like film that day. If you felt like, oh no, I'm tired,
And you know what?
or that
It
day
was probably one of
I
those
think
days
not
where I
enough
thought to
people.
myself, it was probably one of those days where I thought to myself, like, I probably shouldn't be out here doing this, but I did it anyway. Because I had that thought a lot. Yeah, I don't feel like doing it today. Who am I gonna meet? Well, it's probably gonna be useless, you know, blah blah blah. But lo and behold, a gem was found in amongst, you know, all of the coal. So yeah, so it's like to me it's cool because taking those small little risks, even though they may seem like insignificant, like with what you did, you thought to yourself, you know, I'm super bored with what I'm doing. Let me change it up a little bit. Let me try something new, and let's see what happens. If you never thought that and you never actually acted on that inspiration within yourself, that creativity, then you know, you probably would still be at like 8,000, 9,000 followers right now. And I probably
Yeah,
wouldn't be sitting across from you
exactly.
saying, "Hey, that's cool. I did that. I met you," and blah, 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 because of my inspiration and my thought, like, "Hey, I should go speak to that girl and ask her to be in a YouTube video."
Yes, and what you're doing is also like super inspiring. And like I go through your content. I actually like I watched your other podcasts and like I see you're interviewing like motivational speakers and people who give really good advice. And I was
Yeah,
like,
they
what
really
the
do.
heck are you doing with me? Because like I'm 21 years old, I have nothing to contribute. I'm
I
just a
think
girl. I'm just like everyone else.
everybody has something. That's the thing. And it's like it's oftentimes in the story and in the connection. Like there's always something there. And I think that's really cool is that if you don't open yourself to that idea that there's always something that I could learn from someone or something, then you live in like a very small little world. Like if I never approached you in the shop just because I thought, what does this girl have to offer? Again, we wouldn't be here right now. Like you clearly have something to offer to the world, even if it's your delusional creativity, but you have something that people are linked to, and they're like, oh goddamn, look at her, she's delusional, or it makes me feel comfortable with my own delusions or comfortable with myself because look at this girl, she's expressing a side of herself that maybe some people are really scared to express. They're scared to be creative and scared to put themselves out there. But you're doing that, and that's like, wow,
Yeah, I was so scared for the longest time. Like you even heard earlier, I blocked everyone from
All your
university.
universe.
I started making even anime videos because I didn't really like my content. So and I didn't want like people to see that. And I was like, and like the mini like TikTok dances. I was like, this is so cringy. Like I don't want people to see it, but I was posting it anyway.
Sure.
And and yeah, where was I going with this? Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I
being
like
someone that
taking the
has
risk.
something to offer. Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
didn't want people to see.
yeah.
So now like I know they've been seeing it. Even the people I blocked, I know they've been seeing it.
Obviously. 55,
They've been
57,000.
messaging me. They like some people that I blocked, they message me saying, I've seen your videos.
Sure. Yeah, that's
So and
great.
like it doesn't bother me as much anymore because it's like whatever. Everyone knows. Everyone knows it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Like if you're thinking of doing TikTok and you're scared that you're gonna look bad, just don't care. Because like it's not as big as what you think it is.
And
It's like not that much big of a deal.
how 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 maybe how is not the right question. You were saying that don't be scared to put stuff out there, but at the same time it's like a lot of the time you don't get the good videos just from putting the stuff out there. You really get it through putting a lot of stuff out there and actually experimenting with things. Like you said, you were doing videos of like just makeup for how long? I don't know how long you had that account for, but just the makeup ones. And you thought in the
Yeah,
beginning, this is
I
cool,
had it for like about 2 years
2 years. Wow.
before
Okay.
I started seeing numbers.
Sure. And then
But
yeah, sorry. Yeah, carry on.
yeah, but I wasn't posting it for like views and likes. I was just posting it because I was doing it. It was just something that I was doing,
Sure.
posting.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say that I didn't care because I did care, but I wasn't posting it with the intention of blowing up. I was just posting it for posting, for the sake of
For
posting.
the sake of posting. And if it blew up or not, it's like,
It never did.
it never did. Well, I mean,
It's
8,000 is
just that
still,
I was so
8,000 is
comfortable
cool.
lying in my very first videos because I was like, only 200 people are gonna see this.
Yeah. But I mean, still like 8,000 views I mean, 8,000 followers, 9,000. That's still a lot of followers. I mean, like for me, I'm on 4,000 on Instagram and if
Mhm.
I think about it, 4,000 people, not that 4,000 people are seeing all my content all the time, but like if 4,000 people had to walk through my door and come and sit with me and say, hey, what's up? What you doing? That's a lot of people at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah,
Even
it's a lot
200
of
people,
like
even 100 people
4,000 people liked you enough to click that follow
to
and
click
are interested and invested in
or
your life.
or they hated me that much. They were like, I need to follow this guy or follow this girl just to hate on them. Yeah.
But
So
yeah, like a lot of my content was very like thirst trappy, and I was like, that is not very like it's not who I am at the end of the day. Like I
yeah.
will post like now and then, but it's not who I am.
Mm,
I have I'm a girl. I'm just a
And
girl.
how does your
And I have a personality.
and how does your boyfriend feel about? Because like for me, I wouldn't I wouldn't appreciate my girlfriend posting thirst trap stuff on social media. Like to
Oh,
me,
in the beginning. Oh, he's very supportive of like
sure.
every single thing that I do. He's like, that's my girl.
Mm.
Like even if I had to post on Instagram in like literal strings, he'd be like, that's mine. That's mine. You ate that up. But now that my content is very different, I didn't actually tell him when I first posted the video that I was lying of, to the world about him.
About him. Oh, I
And
see.
like, because at the end of my first video, I even posted his face.
Sure.
And I didn't tell, I wasn't gonna, like, I didn't tell him that I lied to everyone. I only told him when it reached 1 million. I was like, look, I lied to everyone about you.
And so how does he feel now that your content is you're a lot bigger? Like does he still feel the same? Does he still feel like, that's still mine, even if you're posting thirst trap stuff?
Yeah, like I don't post that much this stuff now.
No, okay.
But
Because you came to the realization like, damn, there's a lot of people actually seeing this, and maybe it is something I should keep a little bit to my boyfriend and me.
no, it's not that. It's just like my content has shifted,
Oh, I see, I see.
and so I'm shifting with it. Like I'm shifting with the numbers. I'm giving the people what they want. They don't want to see me. They want to see my
Your
delusions.
delusions, yeah, yeah, sure.
They're interested in the story,
The
so
story, yeah.
I give it to them.
And that's often what I've found through seeing other people's content, is that it's always the people who have like a really cool story behind what they're doing, even if it is a delusional story. It's like it's the story that you're telling. Like, oh my God, people can get invested in it. Like people want to they don't live their own lives. They want to see other people living their lives, even if it's some like really facadic, lifestyle that someone's
Yes,
living.
myself included. I eat that up on
Yeah,
TikTok.
say.
I like you tell me like things about your life. I'm invested. I want to know.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Because
like
that's what's
that also
interesting.
like hit me.
Yeah, it's
Like
because
I
everyone
want.
has something, right? Like even if you think that your life is like not worth listening to. Like I'm sure if you started sharing some of the experiences that not you, but people listening, like if you share some of the experiences that you've had and stuff like that, and share, like for me, I'm on this trip of sharing like my failures, like that's my thing at the moment. Like I'm sharing where I failed in life, because there's a lot to learn from that, and I can reflect back on that and be like, look how far I've come from making that kind of mistake in my life. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's just
not a lot
something
of
that
people share the failures. They like to just share
share
them on a yacht, but they
yeah,
don't
exactly,
show
how
all
they got
the
there.
times they failed before they got on the yacht.
Yeah, exactly. And oftentimes it's a lot of times. Like I was speaking with this one guy who also blew up, and he said he posted like 300 videos before his stuff blew up. And in that time, he was just playing with stuff and sharing things. And then eventually he found something similar to you, where he started talking about stories and sharing stories and stuff like that. And people are like, bam, I'm invested.
Yes, it's so crazy. And even like my lifestyle kind of changed, okay, because
Sure.
I'm working at a dental practice and like I'm not even that big, right? But I would get like these high school people shouting outside the practice, Miss Tentacles. Okay, that's my username, by the way.
Yeah, Mr.
On TikTok, Miss Tentacles. They would shout, Miss Tentacles. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, please don't do that. Like my
I'm working
employers
over
don't
here.
know. My employers don't know. I'm gonna get fired. Like I love people who recognize me, and I love like when they notice me in public and take pictures with me, because like I like to share it on, like when they post it on the story, I like to share it on my Insta story, so that like you know it's like a thing.
Yeah, yeah. You're reciprocating
But
with them. Like, hey,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
and but like when you come to my work and introduce the possibility of me being fired, that's that's not fun.
You have a real job to work at.
Yeah,
Not
I
just
have a
TikTok.
9 to 5,
Nine
actually
to
an
five.
8 to 5.
Eight to five.
No,
Wow.
an 8 to 6.
8 to 6.
Like,
Damn.
I'm a hard worker, y'all. But
Sure.
um, yeah, so it's like I kind of feel like I'm living a double life because on the one hand, I'm here like all professional in my scrubs every day, getting up at 5 doing the work, and then like when I get home, I'm like I love my man.
I'm gonna be delusional tonight.
Yeah, it's like a whole switch that flips.
Switch that. Switch.
But
Yeah,
I
that's good.
will say I enjoy working with my patients. I love it so much, but I do think I enjoy making TikToks a little bit more.
Yeah, that's cool. So I have a few questions that I want to branch off into from the conversation that we've had. And that's
Okay.
that I'm going to ask the questions and then you can just choose which one you want to answer. So number one would be, so what is your aim with your TikTok? Like, have you thought like, I built up a following now, like, what am I going to do with it? You know? So that's question number one. And
Mhm.
question number two was, yeah, how has the fame affected you? You mentioned something positive, like your life has sort of changed, people have noticed you more. And are there more positives that have come from it? And like, what are the negatives that have also come with the TikTok fame that you've achieved so far?
Okay, I'll answer both if I remember both by the end of my
Yeah,
first.
sure. I'll remind you. Don't worry. I'll remind you. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what's my goals with this?
Yeah,
So I just I want to grow as big as possible because one day I would like to open up my own dental practice. So and like I want to make it like super Instagrammable,
sure.
let people like meet me and like I'll clean your teeth, maybe do some other things. And then
Maybe you can make like
yeah, like
delusional stories about your clients, like, oh my God.
I won't do that. I won't do that. I would not involve my patients at all in this.
Oh, okay.
But
You
I
don't
would
have
I
to
would
you
I
don't
just
have to involve them directly, but you can like have you can like have them there and like indirectly have them in the video somehow. Anyway, just an idea. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's a great idea. I would like to maybe like incorporate a bit more like dental content, but not just dental, like also myself in the dental content. I haven't figured out how I'm gonna do that yet.
Mm.
But then I would just want to grow like a little community here in South Africa so that like when I do open up a practice, I know I'll have customers. I won't just be an empty practice. And I want to make it really like cute for social media
Have
because
you have you
I
ever
I
have you
literally visit dental practices just because they are Instagrammable. So why not do the same
I
for
never
others?
knew dental practices were were Instagrammable.
No, like I literally visited dental practices because I like them. I like them on Instagram. So
Sure, sure.
I would go there because like I want to see them in person. So I know like there are people out there that would do the same because like I'm one of them.
Mm. So have you ever thought about then maybe also inspiring people to, do their own thing on Instagram? Because that's the main thing people are scared of, is being judged by other people. And I'm sure we can talk about that as well, how that's affected you. Because I've seen some of your videos where you're like, guys, blah, 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 this is really mean or something like that, or that really hurt or so on. So I've seen some of your
Yeah,
videos.
people would lie about me. People would literally like say, oh, she's not really 21. Because how can she be 21 with a degree? And I'll be like, my degree's only 3 years. Like, shut up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shut up. You can get me in real trouble. If like I don't want to say, can you bleep this out? Like I don't want like what happened with Dr. Matthew?
No, who's Dr. Matthew?
He's like this guy who like lied about being a doctor on TikTok.
Okay. I'm sure there's
So
lots
I
of that.
didn't
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so and then like he rose to fame on TikTok for being like this big doctor and whatever, but like it turned out he lied about being a doctor in the first place, and he don't got his qualifications.
Hectic.
So, and like people were saying that about me. Please believe out the Dr. Matthews thing.
I can't
I
promise it,
don't
but I mean, like, if it is what it is. Anyway.
like yeah, people were saying the same thing for me, like I'm lying about being an oral hygienist. But when in reality, I matriculated when I was 17. So the math is mathing. If you do the calculations, the math is
It's
mathing.
there, yeah,
And I was like,
sure.
you can't start spreading rumors like this that are not true. Like you have to first do your research, because
Yeah, yeah.
if this got to my employers, like I could have been fired. But luckily I like got it like
You nipped it in
just
the
there.
butt. Yeah.
Yeah. I nipped it in the bud. I had to. Because that was just not cool.
Sure.
That was not cool.
So that's yeah. So that's some of the negative stuff that's happened since you blew up. Has there been anything else?
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
there's like a lot more
mm,
things. Like like if people make fun of like how I look in videos, where that has nothing to do with the video. Like, sure, I can okay, I can handle constructive criticism. Like
mm.
when people told me my foundation was 10 shades too light, I understood
Sure.
and I fixed the issue.
Sure.
But if you're telling me like, oh, you talk funny, like what am I supposed to do with that?
Well, yeah, it's
That's
not
not
something you can
constructive. That's
fix,
just how I talk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's just how I talk. So when like you do things like that, it used to, I would say it used to affect me. But now I have like a mini community that like will stand up for me.
That's cool.
And yeah, like literally people will like, if you send me a hate comment, people will like come for you. And I'm so happy that I have that
Sure.
community. But also, as soon as I see a hate comment, like I will literally block that
The person.
person,
I see, I
because
see.
like it's just an immediate block for me, because I just don't need to see that.
So
It's
like
out of
what
sight, out of mind. It doesn't bother me. I just
mm.
like, you don't like, if you leave a hate comment, you don't deserve to be looking at my stuff. That is the thing. I will block you. You
Why,
don't
yeah, like why
deserve.
are you just following me to hate me? Like rather follow
Yeah.
people you love,
Like, you know what? This is gonna be so controversial, but if you're gonna make fun of my looks, you better be a 10 out of 10, because you are like, or at least look better than me. Because if I go onto your profile and I see you're a two, I'll just laugh.
Good.
Like,
Those are like keyboard warriors, right? Those people that are really not
yeah,
doing anything
like
with their
if,
life and they're just sitting behind their screen and like this guy just doesn't know what he's doing. This girl just looks like this. Click, 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 click. But what are they doing for themselves? Like not much.
exactly. Sometimes I wish like, if you leave a hate comment, you have to submit a picture of yourself so that I can see what you look like. I wish, because some of these people have like no profile picture
So so
and no,
so how did you deal with that in the beginning? So initially it must have made you feel like, damn, like this person or
yeah,
these
like
people really
I
hate me.
got
Like,
my very first hate comment when I was like in uni.
hmm.
When I started making TikToks, they were like, your face is weird. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my first hate comment ever. And they saying that my face is weird. Like, I don't know what to do. I would, like, the next day in class, I was like so upset. I went to my friend. I was like almost in tears.
Hmm.
But then they were like, no, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, you're literally perfect. Okay, because I have delusional friends too. So they'll be like, you're literally perfect. Like, that person, they have no idea what you're doing. Just block them. And then that was like my mindset ever since then. It's just block them. Block them. You don't need to see them. They don't deserve you. They don't deserve to see your content. And yeah, I actually had this really big American YouTuber make a whole video about me, hating on me.
Really? Oh.
And like yeah, he has like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. You know how difficult it is to get subscribers on YouTube?
Yeah,
Like
sure.
he has like like thousands and thousands of followers. I mean subscribers on YouTube. Like, and he was like hating on me, like hating on like because he took my delusions really seriously, and like he made like a 20-minute long video just
Of how messed up your delusions are.
yeah, like hating on me. And like all the comments were like, yeah, she's like she needs therapy, she needs help.
Yeah.
Um
But not
like why is
understanding,
she
not
like this?
understanding what you were doing, basically.
Yeah, like they didn't know that it was like all fake.
Mm-hmm.
But like but it wasn't it wasn't the vibe, but at the same time, like I was not upset at it at all at that point because I was like, I have a community. I'm more confident in myself. I just laughed. I thought it was the funniest thing ever because he didn't know I was lying. So I just laughed it off. My mother was more upset about it than me. She was like, how
Right.
can he say these things
How can you
about you?
say?
You have to report it. You have to report it. I was like, no, leave it.
No, leave it.
Leave it right there. I don't care about it
Did
at
it
all.
actually did it actually help your community grow more? Like, did it help strengthen, no, maybe, but like, did it boost your following? And then did it help also strengthen the community that supports you? Because they were all just like, this guy clearly doesn't know what he's talking about, and he's just a hater, and we really love you and support you. So, yeah, what was the positive that came out of that?
Oh, I definitely got a lot more followers after that on TikTok.
I can imagine.
And like I got more recognition. Cause like do you know how crazy it is that like when you walk outside and like people know who you are before you even introduce yourself? That's crazy to me. Like
Mm.
the first time it happened, I was the first time it happened, I was like in the mall. And like this girl came up to me, like this small, like cute, tiny girl with her father, and like her father was like, "My daughter watches your video. She's a huge fan. Like, can she please get a picture with you?" I was like, "What the heck? I'm a normal person. I am just like everyone else." But of course, like I kind of liked it. Not gonna lie, I liked it.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I'm sure you must have got a lot of that since then
It
as
was like
well.
it was like an ego boost almost. But like
Yeah.
at the same time, this girl was so cute. I was like, of course I will do anything for you.
Cool.
But also I'm just a normal person because this is something that is really crazy is that I followed this one girl on TikTok for a long time and on Instagram, and I saw her in the mall. I was like, oh my gosh, can I get a picture with you? This was like before I blew up. I was like, can I get a picture with you? And she was like, yeah, she was really sweet. But now it's crazy because now I have more followers than her. It's like, that is insane to me. That is so insane to me. Like, I recognize this girl and now I have more followers than her. That's insane.
That's cool. Yeah, the amazing like the effectiveness of social media. Like it's a great way to reach people and connect with people basically, you know. Especially once you like you said, you start building that community, which for you maybe happened in like a bit of a roundabout way. People started hating you and then the community maybe grew a bit stronger, which is nice. So it's like even though there may be some negativity, like the positive things that come out of the negativity is like better in a way, you know? You sort of realize who you are and what you stand for, and you like embrace yourself in a sense, you know? Like, hey, even if I have like a weird ear or whatever, like it doesn't really matter that much, you know. People who hate on you for that type of stuff, they're really like insecure themselves, you know. So
Yeah, I love when people comment like, I was here since you made anime content. I
yeah, that's
love that.
good.
Then I'm like, oh, you are a real one.
You're an
You are a real.
OG.
And there's like, I love the people who watch me and follow me because there's literally one person. If you can keep this in, please keep this in. I want to show them. But there
I
is
will mention
one
them.
guy.
We will
Oh, no,
mention
no,
them.
not one guy. There's one person who comments on every single one of my videos the same thing. I support your journey in every single one of my videos, and that is so crazy. Like, I at first I was like, what the heck? And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's
This is the
every
guy.
single video, like probably on hundreds of videos
Hundreds
now,
of
because
that's
I
cool.
post like every day. I'm annoying. I post every day,
Oh,
but
that's good. That's what
but in
that's
every single
if
video
you
they're like,
like it,
I
it's like
support
a
your
thing, you
journey.
know? It's like if you if you like
It's
what you're
our
doing, why
thing.
not do it? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and they have the same profile picture as me. They
They have this. Oh, okay. The profile picture is you.
Yeah,
All
my
right.
profile picture is a Photoshop picture of me and Nathaniel on a bride
Oh,
and a
yeah, yeah,
groom.
yeah. The bride and the groom, right?
Yeah, because like some might say it's delusional. I call it manifestation.
Manifestation.
Are you a manifestation person? I know you're very spiritual.
Yes. So I do believe in manifestation. I'm just very careful what I ask for because,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't want to manifest something like there's this example that I like to tell people because I teach energy work. So there's example that I like to give people in my classes, and that's like you have to be very clear on what you ask for, because if you ask for something, you may get exactly what you want, but it may be in a way that you don't want it. So for instance, I want lots of money, and then you get lots of money, but it happens through some arbitrary way where now some drug dealer got shot and you end up with all his money type of thing. You got the money, but now you got it through like this really weird dynamic,
yeah,
because you weren't specific, you weren't very clear. You just said, I want lots of money, you know? So yeah, it's you have to be careful what you ask for when you're manifesting things, because you may
okay,
get
you're
exactly
teaching
what
me a
you ask
lesson
for.
here for free.
Hey, what?
I'm saying you're teaching me a lesson for free.
Yeah, be careful, be careful.
I
Like,
will remember that because one of
yeah,
the things I was manifesting, one of the
manifesting.
things I was manifesting was 10,000 followers at the time.
Sure.
And like by the end, I was like, by the end of December 2023, I will have 10,000 followers because that's how slowly I was going.
You were going. Yeah, yeah.
And then I ended up with like 50,000 followers by the end of December, like by the new year. And that is crazy. And I got
The
it through
yeah,
being
yeah.
super delusional.
Through being delusional,
Like
through being
like,
yourself in a sense,
yeah,
through being the little creative part of yourself that, you know, that just needed some expression. Yeah,
yeah, something I didn't expect.
yeah, yeah.
You just that just reminded me of that now.
And
Like how my goals were just tiny and now they're like huge. Now I
huge.
have much bigger goals,
Yeah.
much bigger things I'm manifesting. Can I put on my light quick? Don't look
Yes,
at my
go for it.
belly.
Go for it. Yeah, yeah. It's okay. I
Okay.
I was doing a podcast with my mentor and my coach. I think it's maybe the one that you
Mhm.
watched with the guy that had no hair and a beard.
Yeah.
That one. So he was talking about in that podcast, he was talking about that life wants us to be abundant, you know? So life wants us to manifest the things that we want. The thing is that to manifest it in the right way. So sometimes when we ask for something, it may come in a strange way because we weren't specific. So when you're manifesting something, it's just a tip or advice is that to say, I want this specific thing, but may it be for the highest good of everybody and myself, and may it harm nobody. Because in that way, you're sort of like,
I like that.
yeah, you're getting
I
it,
like
you're
that.
asking for it in a way that if you didn't say that, you may get it, but it may cause someone else to be without something. You know, I want that $10,000. or I want that house, or I want that whatever, and then you because your desire for it was so strong, you get it, but now someone else is less of something in their own life, and you don't see that, but you're just happy I got what I wanted. Yeah.
I like that because I wasn't even thinking about that when I'm manifesting. I'm
A
I'm
lot of
just
people
like,
don't. Yeah, yeah.
gimme.
Yeah, gimme, but we don't consider that we're actually living with everybody else in this world. And why must I get something that leaves someone else in a lesser like a disadvantaged thing, you know? Like we're all here together, so why not live together in a harmonious way? It doesn't mean you can't get stuff. Like you can live your life, be abundant and stuff like that. And, just be aware that we live in a community. The whole world is a big community. So you have your community on TikTok, right? The whole world is a
Yeah.
community of people. We're all living here together. And, it's just the awareness of that is, something to think about. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. I'm gonna change the way I manifest like
Do you
100%.
know what's
I'm gonna be
cool?
like,
You know what's cool? You should manifesting
"Mm,
stuff for other people. That's cool, you know? Like a lot of what I see on social media is that the people who really do well are people who give a lot. And people who just keep giving and giving, because you don't really get much back from posting stuff on social media unless you build a community and the people in your community give to you. But initially you just have to give. It's a very selfless thing. You just give and you make content until eventually hopefully something blows up. So manifesting
mm,
things is super great when we also manifest not for ourselves but also for other people. We help other people to become better versions of themselves, and in the right ways as well. And then you'll see that things happen even more. You manifest even more things because we're not just thinking me, 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 me. We're thinking, how can I assist someone else? And yeah, it's crazy when we share that with people.
yeah, I did not even like think about that. I should write this down. I
You
should
can just
actually write
watch the
this down.
episode. And
Oh, I'll just
we're
watch the
we're
episode
on
when it comes
we're on like an hour, just under an hour, so like 58 minutes. So keep that in your mind. 58 minutes, I'll check the episode out and I'll come back and watch it to hear what was said.
out. 100%.
Yeah.
I'll remember it. I'm manifesting that I remember it.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because I've had my own experiences where I have personally been asked, or I've asked for something, and then I get it, but I end up realizing it's not exactly what I wanted, or actually what I needed. It was what I wanted, but not what I needed. So I asked for it, and because the divine is like they want the best things for us, they were like, sure, but it's not what you actually need. So I got the things that I wanted. Like for instance, I manifested a few girlfriends. I was just like, that's what I want. Boom. But I was nowhere near ready for a committed relationship. So I got what I wanted because I wanted it, but I didn't need it. What I needed was to grow. What I needed was to mature. What I needed was to, become a man. And here I am just getting what I want and not wasting all my energy, but just spending my energy in a space where I could have put it towards something else. And I'm not saying it as like a regret. I'm not saying I regret that. I'm just saying that in hindsight, just being more aware of what I'm asking for, because a lot of the time we don't need what we're asking for. We just want it. Yeah.
Yeah, you really need to like know yourself, know like be sure of
Yeah.
what you want, be sure that you're healing,
Yeah, yeah,
be
yeah.
grateful.
And may it be for the good of myself, and for the good of others at the same time. Yeah.
Hmm. Like, for us manifestation people, gratitude is like the biggest thing.
It is, yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah. I hear that often, especially of late, because I get very like negative in my own self sometimes. I get like very like judgmental. I'm a Virgo. It's my star sign. And we just analyze a lot. So I pick to pieces situations, and I can get to the issue of things very quickly, but I often just overanalyze it too much. So I focus on the negative too often. And sometimes I realize that just gratitude, man. Just be thankful, be grateful that I have,
Yes,
what I
Virgo
need.
man.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Huh?
I like after you said Virgo man, like
Sure.
I just heard like car crashes in my head, like
Oh no. I think we lost Aziza. Oh no. I'm gonna hit pause. So we definitely lost Aziza. She just messaged me. We were chatting on WhatsApp, and she was saying that this is like the most South African way to end a podcast ever. If you don't know, in South Africa, we get something called load shedding, and it's where all the electricity cuts off in certain areas because they're saving the electricity. But what they're doing is they're actually selling our electricity to other countries, and therefore we're without electricity. The logic, right? In some senses, the government we have is far more delusional than even Aziza herself. And yeah, if the South African government made a TikTok, everybody would freaking love it, man. The delusion that goes on in our government, crazy, crazy, crazy. So anyway, we can't get her back on now, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to end the episode like it is, and I'll have to do another episode with her in it. If you really like this episode and what we were talking about, then drop a like, and yeah, let's get her back on next time. Show us how much you like this episode by dropping that like, subscribing to my channel. And yes, I will definitely get her back on for another episode, and hopefully we can end it in a proper fashion and not in the South African fashion. Yes. So thank you for tuning into this episode, and I will see y'all in the next episode.